It's Monday, brothers and sisters of the Imperium, and that means one thing: it's all about the rumours. And today I want to talk about 11th edition rumours, or should I say my concerns that I'm hearing about 11th edition rumours. This video is kind of a two-in-one because I actually want to talk about 10th edition and why I've kind of fell out of love with it in a way in terms of its rules and the way it's gone around playing the actual game, and my hopes how they will improve it in 11th edition, and of course those 11th edition rumours that I've been talking about on stream, and you know, some new stuff that I'm going to share in today's video. So let's jump in and let's get waffling. Please remember, when I talk about rumours in this video, all rumours have to be taken as lies. Nothing is factual. Just because I believe the rumours are true doesn't mean that you should believe the rumours are true. So please take rumours for what they are, rumours and not facts. Now, as I stated, this is basically a two-in-one video. I'm going to start with the problems with 10th edition and why I'm not really motivated in this edition to get up, to build models, to paint models, to do anything like that, even play the game, because I just feel the game is just, it's just so bland at this moment in time. It's just not fun. Now, if you want to skip to the rumour part of the video, then it's all timestamped at the bottom, so I'll see you at the rumours. If you don't want to hear me just go on about how I think 10th edition has lost track. So, as you probably guessed, I am very, very deep in Space Marines. I love Space Marines. I love all the factions of Space Marines, the Black Templars, the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, the Imperial Fist, even the Ultramarines. Yes, you're here right now hearing me say this. I love the Ultramarines. I love Space Marines. They're my favourite faction in the game. And one of the things that's happened with Space Marines over the course of the past couple of years is that the personality of the Space Marines, the things that make the Space Marines stood out, the things that made them cool on the tabletop, has been taken away. If you look at the Space Marine faction right now, they are literally just different coloured versions of a Marine as a model. Like, they don't have that personality anymore. And what I mean by that is, like, back in the old days, you had like Imperial Fist stuff, Salamander stuff, Raven Guard stuff, Ultramarine stuff. Like, as an Imperial Fist fan, I got like the Bolter Doctrine, more damage to vehicles, fortifications I could damage and stuff. It wasn't the strongest, but at least it gave me a little bit of personality. And now what you have is these so-called detachments, and it's literally, you can play the White Scars as like Gravis. You can play the White Scars as bikers, Ultramarines as bikers. You know, it's like everyone is kind of the same. Now, of course, there's a flip side to that coin, which I really do enjoy, because of course the Black Templars have their individual rules, the Dark Angels, the Blood Angels, the Space Wolves, they have all their individual rules, which is absolutely cracking. I love that. And recently, just this past weekend, we've started to see that Games Workshop are kind of introducing personalized rules back into the game, because the Salamanders are getting their own detachment now, and they have a bunch of cool things in there. So what my hope is now going forward is that this will be added to the Imperial Fist, the White Scars, the Raven Guard, the Ultramarines, the Iron Hands, etc., and we get that sense of personality back. Remember back in like 8th edition where you could make your Warlord equip him with like different armors? Like, as an Imperial Fist again, I equipped mine with the Eye Hippanoth, where I was like able to like re-roll wound rolls of wands and stuff. It wasn't that powerful. Maybe some people debate it is powerful, but it just added a little bit more character to my army that other people couldn't take who weren't playing Imperial Fist. And at the end of the day, as a Son of Dawn, as a Space Marine fan, it's all about the rule of cool. It's all about representing your chapter on the battlefield. And I think right now in 10th edition, we've lost that magic for the Space Marines. I can't really comment on like Imperial Guard, Leagues of Votan, Gene Stealers, Tyranids, Necrons and stuff, because that's not my forte, right? I don't really play those factions. All I can say, as a Space Marine fan, I've really lost just the get up and let's do this kind of rhythm, the motivation in my day to build more Space Marines, to paint more Space Marines, because how bland they are to play at this moment in time. Now, another thing I've talked about on stream as well is the game itself of 10th edition. When I look at 10th edition and I just look at the actual terrain, the setup and stuff, it feels me so uninspired to actually get on there and play. Yes, it's down to you and your friends to make that narrative, and technically that's what I do with my friends. We sling as much cool terrain on there and make it the rule of cool, but I think Games Workshop are missing out on a massive thing when it comes to terrain. I've been waffling on my streams now that I think terrain should have a personality of its own. I think if you put guys in buildings, in terrain, then those terrain pieces should be able to be destroyed. This happens with other game systems like bolt action and stuff. If you put an infantry squad in a house, put a HE shell into that house, and boom goes the baby. There's no more house there. That house comes down, you can take it apart and stuff, and then that terrain affects the battlefield. Then it's been brought down and stuff. I think little bits of spice like that would add so much more character, so much more personality to the actual game itself. One of the big complaints, and again, this is not going in for tournament players, because if you like to play the game tournament style, if you like to be a competitive gamer, I'm all for that. That is absolutely amazing. But I do think the pendulum has shifted to more competitive play rather than the rule of cool, more fun play for Warhammer 40,000. That's just my take on it. If you disagree, right? No point in arguing about it. That's how I feel at the moment. The game feels way more competitive, way more just, it's all about, you know, the win rather than the experience of playing the game itself. And for me, as someone who jumped into these games as more of a social thing to meet up with friends, have a drink, you know, have a laugh and stuff, I just really dislike where it's at this moment in time. So this is why I had so much hope for 11th edition, and what we'll get into in a second, the rumours that I'm hearing about 11th edition have got me quite concerned. So in terms of 11th edition rumours, for those people who don't know, if you're just catching up, if you haven't really tuned in to a rumour video of mine, we've been talking about this for a while. 11th edition is supposed to be coming out summer 2026, spring, summertime, around that area. Next year, basically, 10 to 12 months away before 11th edition lands on our doorstep. We're supposed to be getting the end narrative campaign probably around December time, and then that will lead up to the launch of 11th edition. Now, when it comes to the rules of 11th edition, as I just previously mentioned some concerns I had with what we have in 10th edition, I was hoping that a lot of things would be changing, but apparently that is not looking like it's on the cards. What I'm basically hearing is that 11th edition is basically going to be 10.5. There's not really going to be that big of a jump. It's not going to be like a massive reset. There's not really going to be that many big law changes, that many big rules changes to the actual game itself. And as someone who's not really enjoying 10th edition at the moment, I think that's a pretty sad thing for me to start hearing from the whispers. What I will say, the good thing about that is that, you know, people who are enjoying 10th edition, if you're having a great time, again, I absolutely love that you're having a good time. There's no drama towards you chaps. I'm not like I'm calling you out. How dare you enjoy 10th edition? It's nothing like that. You probably won't have to learn that much. It's not like going to be a massive reset. And that walks into another rumor that I'm hearing with 11th edition, is that apparently the codexes that we have right now are supposed to be back-end compatible with the next edition, which is also a great thing to hear if the rumor does turn out to be true, because one of the big concerns that we've always talked about is that the person, or should I say the factions that get the back end of an edition normally have their books for what, 6-8 months or something, and then they have to wait then in the queue again to get reissued a brand new codex. So if it does turn out to be true that these codexes are back-end compatible and you can literally walk into 11th edition with it, then I'm sure that stops all that debate and, you know, the drama around, bloody hell, I have to buy another bloody codex, because at the end of the day, these codexes do cost a pretty penny now from Games Workshop. And I know someone's going to ask it, what's the launch box going to be for 11th edition? I've spoken about this till I'm blue in the face like a Tau simp. Right, the 11th edition box is supposed to be Orcs versus Marines, the new narrative. I say the new narrative, we haven't really finished the Tyranid narrative. I really got started on the Tyranid narrative in this edition. Maybe the Tyranid narrative will start next edition. That way they're always one edition ahead to keep working on the lore, the books, the campaigns and stuff. I don't know, maybe that's what Games Workshop do. But it's supposed to be Orcs versus Marines, a bunch of new Marine stuff. I'm hearing Vanguard Veterans, you know, Land Speeders, multi-part Outriders, very, very fast attack. I've been hearing about a Devastator HQ, etc. Orcs, you know, I can see Storm Boys and stuff like that. Maybe new Orc bikes. I don't really know, really, with the Orcs have had so much stuff. And, of course, they're going to be getting even more stuff. Mega Armored Knobs and stuff I'd probably put down for Orcs. But, basically, the rumours that we're hearing about Orcs and Marines is that is going to be the 11th edition box set. And I'm super looking forward to see what they get, because they're both armies that I want to collect. Well, I do collect Space Marines. Orcs is an army that I do want to collect as a Xenos jump in the pool of the Xenos players, and I think that'd be a great army for me to go down. Anyway, I'm just waffling. I'm just going on towards the back end of this video. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. As always, there's so much stuff I'm hearing around the end of this edition now, and it's getting way, way, way spicy. I'm hearing multiple rumours from everywhere. Chaos rumours, Necron rumours. I'm hearing more Xenos rumours. Right, it's getting wild. It's getting absolutely wild, and I'm sure the big reveals. Well, there's going to be a big reveal this month at Nova, if I'm not mistaken, which I will be back for, and hopefully we get to see some big things revealed there. Mainly Dark Eldar, maybe the first steps on the narrative storyline to end this 10th edition. Anyway, thanks for coming. Thanks for watching again. How many times have I said bye in this video? See you in a bit. Have a great day. If you've got any thoughts, feedback, questions, post it down below. I'll try my best to try and answer them. If I don't see you, then have a great week. Have a great weekend. And bye-bye.